Welcome to the Outdooraholic channel. My name is Nathan. This is episode 3 of our Harley-Davidson Fat Boy build. On episode 1, we bought this bike. It's a 2008 Harley-Davidson Fat Boy. It has the 96 cubic inch motor with the 6-speed transmission. It was all original, and we bought it from the original owner. Not a single modification had been done to it. It only had 4,800 miles on it, but because it had been sitting so much, it needed some TLC. There was some corrosion, especially on both wheels, the front and back wheels. The fork lowers had a lot of corrosion in the coating on there. There was some surface rust on some of the chrome, especially the engine guards. It had the original tires, which were 14 years old. They were built in 2007. It had some bodywork damage on the rear fender from where it backed into something. But otherwise, it was in pretty good shape. It just needed some love. In episode 2, we got it inspected, insured, and registered, and then started doing all the work to it. And I spent several days polishing chrome, polishing wheels, sanding down and polishing the fork lowers, replaced both the tires with the original Harley-Davidson Dunlops, and just kind of got it up into good riding condition where it was ready to be ridden. And now episode 3 is where we start doing the fun stuff, adding some modifications to the bike. So new seat, new tank bib, fix the damage on the rear fender, exhaust, and a swing arm bag. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys do like this video, please hit that like button. If you enjoy the build and want to see more of the progress, we've got a lot more in stock for it. Please subscribe. We also have a 2009 Harley-Davidson Road King, and we do a lot of long trips, camping trips, hog rides, visiting national parks, all kinds of fun stuff with the Road King and now with both bikes. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate that. So without further ado, let's check out the modifications that we did to our Fat Boy. All right, showing off a new part for the Fat Boy. This comes from the Dirty Gringo. It is a new tank bib. I'm going with distressed brown seats. And so I figured I should get a distressed brown tank bib as well. This one I really like. It's got a American flag like stamped into it, but on the picture on eBay the leather was more of like a tan color. So I actually reached out to him and said, hey, could you make that but make it in a darker brown to match the Mustang seats. And you can see right here on the thing, color match Mustang seat, distressed brown. They made it the same day and shipped it out the same day. And it's a much darker brown than what they had showed on their site. So that's really awesome. I'm really excited to get this on there, and I may even try to get a matching rear fender bib from these people as well, because I ordered this literally like 2 or 3 days ago. They custom made the color for me and shipped it to me super fast. So pretty excited to get this on, and it'll look really awesome, especially when I get the brown seats and everything on here too. So. Alright, here's before and after. The original black Fat Boy with the lacing and the bullet tips. And then now the distressed brown leather. It's got a nice felt backing on the back to protect your paint. And the American flag stamped into it. That looks really nice. Alright guys, another piece of the Fat Boy came in. This is the swing arm bag made by Willie and Max. I bought it on Amazon. It's in distressed brown leather. It looks real nice. It's got brass buckles on it, which I want the brass because of these kind of goldish pin striping on here. And then it's got these actual, clips. So I'm going to thread the buckle. So this way I won't have to carry a backpack every time I ride it. I can throw some small things in here. But at the same time, I don't want to put saddlebags on it and have it look like the Road King. They're different bikes for different purposes, so I want to keep them that way. Alright, there we go. It's pretty solid. It's not going anywhere. It looks nice on the bike. Especially once I get that Mustang seat in brown. It's gonna look real nice. Alright guys, check out what just came in. This is the Mustang Wide Tripper seats with backrest in distressed brown. Really excited to get this on. I think it's gonna look awesome with this blue color. This was kind of my plan from the very beginning. So most of these Mustang seats were taking 8 to 10 weeks to ship, including the passenger pillion that I ordered. But luckily this one happened to be in stock and I got it pretty quickly. So really excited to throw this on. The color, the shape, it's got the diamond stitching in it, plus the matching backrest. I think it's gonna look killer. Anyway, when I put this on, real simple to install. All right, so we'll just take the zip tie. And then there's a little notch that lines up with the notch. There's a notch right here that lines up with the notch in the hole. And then we'll just slide the seat clip on. With that done, it's just a matter of hooking this up underneath this notch here. Alright, so once that's on, you just hook this front side, wedge all the way forward, and then you use the factory screw and the new insert. Feels very different than the factory seat. It's much more narrow. This is the wide version. This is the Solo Wide Tripper. Initially I was going to get the narrow, but the one with the backrest only came in the wide version. And actually after sitting on it, it's pretty narrow. This is plenty narrow. I'm glad I didn't go with the regular version. I'm glad I went with the wide version. But it feels very comfortable. It's got some more support, definitely more, lower lumbar support than the factory seat had, even without the backrest. It's much more narrow in the front, which allows you to get your legs in closer to the bike, which is nice. It feels very, very well padded. And then of course you got the backrest, which I'm a huge fan of on the Road King. It's great for long trips. I don't have it on here right now, but when I'm going on, anytime I'm doing a long ride, I throw that on there. But I felt that if I didn't have it, I would regret it, especially once I have ape hangers and if I'm not running a windshield. It gives you something when that wind is pushing you back. It gives you something to go into so you're not continually going back. This backrest is also adjustable. You can crank this knob to adjust how far forward or back the rest is. Alright, so yeah, that's great. Oh man, I'm very excited. Now to get some real handlebars on here, and this would be super, super comfortable. I was sitting on my new seat and thinking, man, this would be great with some highway pegs. Well, it just so happens I had some spare parts from when I got the Road King. The seller threw in these highway pegs with little heel rests. These were the old highway pegs that I took off, and the shifter pegs that I took off of the Road King. And then, like I said, these big guys that also have the heel rest, which I think might be a little overkill for this bike. But they also have, I could just use this mount and put those other ones on. So I'm probably gonna do that just because this is not a big touring bike. I want to keep it more low profile. So I'm gonna put these mounts on and then swap out these pegs for the standard ones and see how that works. Alright guys, so I've been out on the road all day. We had a El Paso Hog Chapter member-only cookout up in the Guadalupe Mountains at Guadalupe Mountains National Park. I just got back and these slip-ons were waiting for me. These are the Rush Softail slip-ons. Slash cut, supposed to be outward facing. However, looking at where the mounting points are, I'm not quite sure how it's going to line up, but I'm going to go ahead and throw them on and see how it turns out. There it goes. I was gonna put these Rush slip-ons on, but they don't fit. According to the part number, these are the right ones, but the mounting bolts don't line up. So this one's lined up, but for this one to line up, it would have to come around here. It doesn't work, and it would flip it upside down on the end. So I'm not sure what's going on. According to the part number, 26404, and then 175 is the size of the baffle, so 26404 should fit an 07 to I think 15 or something Fat Boy. So I'm gonna call Rush tomorrow and see what the deal is on these. Alright, continuing to work on the Fat Boy build here. These were a pain in the butt to get off. These are the factory shock springs from underneath the Fat Boy. The Softail, of course, has a suspension up underneath the bike instead of, you know, a normal bike going vertically. But it was a pain in the butt to get it out of there. These bolts on the end weren't too bad, but both of these suckers were a pain in the butt. Very tough. Alright, so what's going on instead? I just picked these up used. These are the Progressive 422s, which are supposed to be a big improvement over the factory shocks and springs. So there's the part number 422-4037. So I'll get these put on. They're also adjustable to be able to lower it from stock height down to 2 inches, and should give much improved handling over bumps and whatnot. They're adjustable for the preload. Well, the factory ones are too, but just a much higher quality shock from what I've read. So pretty excited to get those on. All right, going after dark. Got the preload set. I'm mainly gonna ride this solo. I only have a solo seat on it right now, and I'm only 155 pounds, so I have it on the lightest setting, which is all the way turned clockwise. I also have it lowered 1 inch over the factory height. Pain in the butt to install, but I got it done. After fixing the fork lowers up front, that left this spot right here as being the worst looking part on the bike. And so the seller had told me that in shipping, when he took it to Germany or brought it back, it got backed into something and messed up the paint, which had caused it to rust, and it never was repaired. So it was real wavy, and you know, this was rust here on the metal. So what I did is I took, this is for bending like sheet metal, and I just kind of worked it along the edge here, pinching it, which straightened it out a lot, made it nice and straight instead of that wave it had before. Then I took some 100 grit sandpaper and cleaned up all the rust that was here down to get it down to bare metal. So I got that all cleaned up, and now I'm gonna tape it off and then hit it with some Rust-Oleum paint just to keep that from rusting again. And then I'm gonna put this is a Drag Specialties fender skirt, which will go on, goes like right there, and we'll cover up all that and give you a nice chrome on the tail end to match the rest of the bike. So pretty quick little fix to get rid of that wavy rusted damaged spot here on the rear fender. We'll get a better shot of this during the day where you can see it all better, but there it is, the chrome fender skirt on the back of the Fat Boy. Looks pretty good. So the other day I went to install the pipes, and they weren't the right ones. They were some Rush pipes that I bought on eBay, some slip-ons, and they said they were the right part number, but they weren't. I called Rush, described them to them, and they were like, yeah, that is not the part number for your bike, even though the part number they say they are is for your bike. So I was able to do a return on eBay, and then Rush was awesome enough to hook me up with a really good deal on these pipes, which are the ones I really wanted anyway. But also, if you guys are in the market for some slip-ons, check out Rush. Most of their slip-ons are on clearance right now for Softails, and they're $99 directly from Rush. So check it out on their website. Go to the shop and then look under clearance. Anyway, so these right here are the slash cuts with the 2-inch baffles. You have your option of baffles, 1.5 being the quietest, just a little bit louder than stock, then 1.75 inch, 2-inch kind of being the sweet spot as far as being loud, but still not messing up your tune if you don't want to tune it. 1.75, they said for sure you don't need to worry about tuning it. 2-inch, they said yeah, you're good. If you go above that 2 1/4, you have to get it tuned, they say. So I plan on getting it tuned soon anyway when I do an intake. But for now, I wanted something I could just put on and run it. All right, there we go. And you can see it's got the Fat Boy style mount, these square rectangular tabs. The other ones had circle tabs and they didn't line up at all. So yeah, this will be great. After you install the exhaust, you want to be sure to wipe down all the fingerprints. You don't want to leave that residue on the pipes when you start it up and get that heat going into it. I'm going to try to get a before and after. I know it's hard to capture exhaust videos, really be able to tell the difference over cameras, but I'm going to do my best. I have the bike in the same spot. I'm going to set up the camera 15 feet away, and I'm going to leave this in the same spot for the after, so nothing's going to change as far as the bike location or camera location. So I'll go ahead and start it up. Again, these are the stock pipes, completely stock. It's got sound. We got our Rush slip-ons installed, so we're gonna go ahead and fire it up and get that after video to compare it to the before with the factory exhaust. I got the camera set up in the same spot, 15 feet away, and let's hear how it sounds. So I'm not sure how well that's going to come on the video, but it sounds really good. It's much deeper. It's got a really deep rumble, but when you crack it open, it's got a real good bark as well. It's not nearly as loud as the Tab Zombies, but it's got a really good sound, and it's much louder than the factory exhaust. It sounds like a Harley now. All right, guys, the last clip you saw was of me starting it up in the driveway with the new exhaust. Now let's take it for a spin, see how it actually sounds when you ride it. Can't really hear the exhaust that great in this clip, but it sounds really good when you're riding it. I want to thank everyone for watching this video, especially if you made it this far. We've only been doing this YouTube channel thing for a couple months now, and we've had a lot of support, so thank you guys very much. If you made it this far, please leave a comment on there. Let us know what you think, and I hope you'll join us for the next videos.